The Yom Yom for the 24th of Nissan. So in the Yom Kippur service at the temple, there was a part where two goats were used. They had to be exactly the same in appearance and height and age, but one was sacrificed to Hashem and the other was discarded, Azazel. Now that service in the temple is representative of actual spiritual service in our lives. There's a stage where we are kind of like confused, and there's a mixture between the holiness and unholiness in our life, and they're really mixed together. It's kind of like meat that has not been cooked yet, where the fats and meat are hard to discern and differentiate. But it's only once it's cooked that you can see what it is that you can actually eat and what needs to be discarded. But even then, it is still hard to know, being that the meat was all one big unit. When eventually separated, some parts of the meat actually remains with its discarded part, the fats. It's inevitable. In spiritual terms, this is the idea that the only unholy spirits are mixed with holy ones. Eventually, they are separated, but some vitality, some chayas from the spiritual remains with unholy. This actually is sort of like a compromise of sorts that allows the Yidden, the Jewish people, to get their blessings for the year in a deeper manner. However, what is important is recognizes that the unholy traits we have need to be eradicated. They are not to be developed or fed or analyzed, but really cut off, like you're cutting off a piece of meat, so to speak, the fat from the meat. With time, in a person's life, there's obviously less fat and there's more meat. But in a step-by-step process of eradicating the evil, first is identifying what needs to be fixed and eradicated. Then one is not to feed the desired trait by pondering deeply on it. Rather, one is to ignore it and focus on working on the opposite trait, the extreme other trait. And with time, that desire that existed before becomes weaker and eventually totally forgotten.